Hey everyone, welcome back to Marketing 100. I'm Kayle, your salon and spa business bestie, and I'm joined today, as always, as ever, by my good friend and the founder of the salon business, gentleman from across the pond, John Halberg. What are we talking about today, John?
What I want us to riff on today are the common reasons to why your front desk is losing you clients.
Oh,
Holy moly, right?
there's so many, dude.
You have a ton of experience in this space too, Kayle.
Yes, my background in the salon industry, I started at the front desk of a chain of salons back in like 2011. I spent about 5 years working as a regional trainer, training all the administrative and front desk staff as well as management for an entire portion of California, essentially, for this chain of salons. So I've seen every stupid mistake that a front desk can make, and I've taught courses on exactly how not to make those mistakes. So yes, this is something I'm intimately familiar with and could riff on forever if you let me.
I want to start with kind of the greeting and check-in experience. Like a weak personal introduction, like when someone walks into your business, is really bad, right? You want to make sure that people feel like comfortable when they walk into your space and they know what to do. Like, is that first impression? We all know the value of the first impression.
Yeah, this one drives me insane, dude. Like, no one should be hanging out in the front of the salon doing like the John Travolta meme where he's just kind of like looking around. That is the worst experience. Like, no one should be left dangling in your front room, like feeling like an unwanted guest. That's just, no, absolutely not.
I think a gentleman that we've had on the show before shared his, was it a 5-second rule from Thomas Edlund? Like if someone walks into your business within 5 seconds, someone, even if it's not the stylist that is meant to, meet that person, but someone need to go up and greet that person, make sure they feel welcome, they know what to do next, and feel taken care of.
You need to be present at the front, right? Like, and if you're not going to be, if you have to go run and do something else, someone else needs to cover the desk, someone else that you trust that's, has a couple minutes, right? Because that experience needs to be cohesive across the board. And if no one's there at the front, that's a miss. You fucked up. If somebody's at the front and they're ignoring whoever came in, also a miss. You fucked up. Don't be on your phone. Don't be texting your friends. If you're on the phone with somebody when somebody walks in, greet them, let them know you see them. You can mouth to them like, to get you checked in, like whatever it is, right? You need to let them know that they're welcome, right? That's the feeling that you need to communicate to them within that first 5 seconds is you are welcome here. I've got you covered. You don't have to worry about a thing. It's like the first touch point a client has when walking into your business every single time. If you're fumbling the bag that early in the day, like early in the service, you're completely missing it. You're like, this is a huge miss.
And honestly, fairly easy to fix, right? Maybe you develop a short script or like you have some ideas ready for your team. How should they act then when people come in? Set a rule. If it's the 5-second rule like Thomas or like whatever your like principle is for how do we operate. And we deploy that. And that's now like the expectation for how we run this going forward in order to level up that first impression. The next one is just like delayed or missed responses to inquiries. Like if someone's making a call, if someone is like today more like DMing, right? Sending you a message. Is your front desk team taking care of that? Like, are you getting back promptly on those? Like the expectation now has just rapidly increased on kind of like how fast should we respond? If we're not able to respond quickly, that's quite likely a lost client if that was a new client trying to like figure out if that service is right for them, if they should be booking in with you.
Dude, when I first started working in the salon, like we had like, a landline, right?
I think we need to explain that to some of the listeners here.
Yeah. So a landline is a phone that's only used locally within a business or house or whatever. But we had like an answering machine. And so if no one was around, they called after hours, whatever the case is, they left a message. If you forgot to check the messages, right? Maybe somebody canceled. Maybe someone's trying to get in for an appointment, but you didn't check the messages that day. You were potentially completely screwing up somebody's schedule, or you were missing opportunities to get new clients in, and then they already found another stylist or whatever the case is, right? It's a little bit different now. The tools have gotten better. There's more integrated ways to stay on top of that. We talk about Mangomint a lot on the channel. We use Mangomint. One of the things we like about it is like when there's inquiries or missed calls or things like that, the system helps pick up that slack a little bit, right? Like people can DM you and it's all in one place with the two-way texting. You can see like, oh, somebody texted, they need to change their appointment time, or they needed to move things around, or there was an inquiry on the website, or whatever the case is. Like Makes it so much easier to just stay on top of those sorts of things instead of like checking and answering machine every day or that kind of thing. If your front desk isn't doing this, if they're not on top of it, you're losing clients, right? Because it seems like you don't care. And that's the last thing you want. And I think that's like the common thread across like probably many of the things we're going to talk about today is if your front desk feels apathetic, you got to tighten that up. This is so crucial. What else you got for me, John?
What I've got is failure to rebook.
Dude, this is like one of my biggest pet peeves like ever. It's so frustrating to me when like the number one thing for client retention is not prioritized in a salon.
We just know that like loyalty rates just go up significantly whenever there's an appointment on the calendar for like their next visit. It's part of your service, right? Because you're helping them achieve, what they want to achieve. And that's not done through one appointment, but it is through a series of appointments. It's not like a salesy type of conversation, but it's really just a service to make sure your clients are taken care of and that they are on the books to come back in.
The part that most salons get wrong when it comes to educating on this is they don't focus on it as a theme. They focus on it as an action. This conversation needs to start with the stylist in the chair. And it needs to start in normal conversation, right? So like when the stylist is doing someone's color or when the stylist is blow drying the client, right? They need to start planting those seeds. We're going to do this today. We'll do X, Y, and Z today. And then in 6 weeks, when you come back, and that phrase is very important, we'll do this, right? So the stylist is setting expectations. They're setting a timeline and they're expressing that it's not an if, it's a when, right? And if your stylist is empowered to rebook at the chair and they're using a decent app like Mangomint, that's one of the reasons why we like it. It's really easy to do that. They can do that there. That's great. That's like 1-2 punch, you're done, right? If by the time the client has gotten to the front desk, the stylist has not rebooked them yet, which is, it's fine if that hasn't happened, but as long as they started the conversation, when the stylist brings the client up to the front and they're like, get so-and-so in 6 weeks for this and this, right? Or I'm going to have them come back for this and this in 6 weeks. So make sure we've got some time here, right? That's another good one. Make sure I've got some time here because it makes it sound like you're making time for them, right? You're carving out time for them. And I recommend rebooking before you even check out. Don't wait till after checkout to rebook, right? Because at that point, once they've checked out and completed that transaction, right? Their mind's already somewhere else. Their mind's on whatever the next thing they've got to do is. Rebook before you check out that transaction. Get that done first and then move on to checkout. I know that all this might sound like there's a lot of moving parts to it, but it's really not that complicated as long as you consider the psychology of it and the things that your clients want to know and feel, right? They want to feel cared for. They want to feel like you want them coming back. They want to feel like there's importance placed on their presence. So yes, super crucial. Do not this up. It's so easy. Just, you got to teach your staff.
I agree. And like to what you said, that is what you need to focus on, like the conversations during the appointment, all the stuff that Kayle just said. You touched on tech, and I think tech can help. You can book in while you're there. There's also ways that you can like send a reminder to book in if they haven't booked for X duration since the service. Those are, I think you should have those. But it's not an excuse to like not have the conversation. Like this is
that's a fallback.
No, that's a fallback. Exactly. That should be the fallback. If for whatever reason that appointment wasn't booked in, it should happen while people are in your salon.
All right, John, I know that you've got a few more probably, and I could go on about this forever. Let's face it, I've been a little spicy today, but we got to save some for later. So if you want to hear more like ways to level up your front desk and how much of a difference that can make, I've got plenty more to tell you here. And I'm sure John's got plenty more as well. Let us know down in the comments. Tell us if this was helpful. Tell us if you want to hear more about how to level up your front desk. If you're not subscribed to the Salon Business, get subscribed. The button's right there. Mm-hmm. You can hear and see way more from these two handsome gentlemen who are here to share their salon industry experience with you. We've got new episodes of Marketing 100 every single week, and we're going to have plenty more for you coming up. Thanks again for tuning into another episode of Marketing 100. I'm Kayle, your salon and spa business bestie, and we'll see you in the next one.